Ego, it's something we all deal with. At times could be a useful trait to have, but in most situations, it does more bad than good. How do you work around it? Not being able to admit when you're wrong. Not texting that person because you don't want to be seen as needy or come off as if you need the person more than the person needs you. Not associating yourself with certain people and treating people as if they're in a lower position than you in life. I'm most definitely a victim to it myself. Till this day, I still struggle to put my pride and ego to the side and really admit my wrongs and come off a certain way because I don't want my reputation and my perspective on how people see me to change. But what I'm going to talk about has really helped me out throughout the last couple of years and has really put me in a better situation in which I previously was in. We're constantly told to put yourself at a high regard, that reputation is everything, and how people perceive you determines how people will treat you for the rest of your life. And so people tend to change their appearance, change the way they are, and not really admit to when they are wrong in certain situations because they don't want to come off as the person who made a mistake and the person who was at fault, of course. What I found useful is meditating. It could be anywhere, the sauna, your room, outside, just really being there in the moment with yourself and your mind and really analyzing the root of the problem in which you're currently in. Mine at the time was having too much of an ego. I would just simply think within my mind and reflect, just being honest with yourself because there's no point of lying to yourself, more importantly, because then you're not really getting results, you're not really getting answers from yourself. And I will have to put my own ego to the side, even to myself, and admit, yeah, I was wrong in the situation, yeah, I could have approached it much better. And I will talk to myself like as if my mind and myself were a different person. And so I'd have a communication and I'd ask myself, okay, well, you know what's wrong. When you're meditating, you're in a very calm state of mind. You're very humble because it's only you. I get a good perspective on who I am and how my mind works. You find the root of the problem when you meditate, when it's just you and your thoughts, but not enough people do it. Once you get that, then the next step is journaling. Writing about your day, writing about how you felt when a certain person told you a certain thing. It gives you an outlook and a different perspective on how you saw things, on why you felt the need to do such things and not admit to your faults. Once you look over that, you get a naked perspective on the situation, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be humble when you do this. You have to think of the other person's perspective as well, how they felt and how the situation escalated. By you putting yourself at a high pedestal, you are essentially degrading and belittling everyone that comes your way. That can come off as good. When you have competition, when you are competing for a certain position, that can be good. But when you're going your day-to-day lives and thinking you are better than everyone else, what that is doing is showing the way you carry yourself and destroying the way people see you and react to you and your mannerisms. The last thing you want is people to think or know you as a egotistical person who thinks so highly of himself and no one else. It's also good to remind you that there are always people in a better position in your life. People who have what you want, people that have the girl you want, the car you want. All these things can make you change your perspective. Like, okay, I'm not where I want to be in life. So let me not have such a high ego of myself. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's doable. There's this quote, very simple. Life is not that deep. And when you really analyze it, you realize everything that you do, anything that you feel right now that you are ashamed to admit, ashamed to let go, you realize that it won't matter in 5 years. That fight you had with a coworker, that argument you had with your aunt, it won't matter. What they'll remember is how you made them feel. Remember that. A reminder that you are no better than anyone else. I know that's a hard pill to swallow for most people. People make things and their whole life very competitive. But at the end of the day, you must do what you have to do for your own benefit to see yourself progress in life. You can't let something as simple as an ego drown you and drag you down and not let you progress in life all because you think so highly of yourself. You must master the patience within yourself to let things cool down. You must control your thoughts. Change the way you see things. Look yourself in the mirror and really reflect. We are all trying to get past life the best we can. Don't let something as simple as an ego get in the way of that because I can promise you it's never that deep. I don't mean to sound like that guy, but again, you only live once. If you really want to text that person, then go ahead and text that person. What is the worst that could happen? You have to think in the I don't give a fuck mentality. If that person decides to text me back or not, so be it. I have my own life to live. But you can't hold back and you can't prevent yourself from admitting when you're wrong and fixing bridges that you burnt, all because you have so much pride and ego within yourself. The first step is acceptance. Once you can accept that you're in the wrong, once you can accept that you have an ego, then you can move forward. Then you can put all these things into fruition, into action. But no one's going to get it out of you but you. So whether you decide to listen to this and continue to do the same, that is completely on you. If what I said bothered you in any way and rubbed you off the wrong way, I understand. But that is how you progress in life. Search it within yourself, search it within your mind. All things can be accomplished through the power of the mind, any form of reality that you choose to believe in. If you found this video helpful, I would appreciate you checking out my previous videos where I talk about similar topics to this. I myself am in a self-improvement journey, and I want you to know that we are in this together. With that being said, it's been a pleasure.